This video is for Monday, March 23rd. First and foremost, I hope everyone's safe and healthy. If you have any issues or your family has any issues and need anything, please reach out via email or text, and I'll do my best to get anything you need. That being said, I want to start talking about like online classes. If you're watching these YouTube videos, I'm assuming you're missing our online Zoom classes. And I know some of you think, oh, I'll just watch the video, it'll be quicker, and I don't have to wake up at 8 a.m. So Zoom starts at 8 a.m. And we're going to be doing online classes for the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'm guessing, because we're not coming back till April 20th. So if you just keep watching these YouTube videos because you want to save time, it's really going to start to catch up to you because it's hard to learn just from a video, and it's easier to learn when you're actually in the online class at the Zoom. So be there at 8 a.m. I really think you guys are going to like it. I'm trying to structure it more like an actual class. That being said, today and tomorrow are review, and we're starting new content on Wednesday. Super important you're in Zoom to learn that new content. All right, let's start with today's lesson. Here's what you missed if you missed our Zoom class this morning. So take 2 minutes, pause the video, try the do now, and come back and I'll explain the answers. So first thing, I want to know the scale factor that makes triangle WYS. So we're going from this triangle onto this one. So right away, I see I'm getting smaller. So here's my annotation that's really going to help me with this question. I'm getting smaller. So right away, I could cross out 3 and 2 because those dilations would make my triangle bigger. So I want to multiply by a third or a half. Now I just got to figure out the scale factor. Some of you might be able to see this in your head, but a trick to see what sides match up. WY matches up with HF, the first two letters. WY is 7 or 21, HF is 7. So my scale factor, I'm getting smaller, so I'm going to put the smaller one on top, 7 over 21, which would simplify to 1/3. So it is B. Number 2, a strategy on this, if we're going to figure out which is not the property of a rectangle, is draw a sketch of a rectangle. So I know I have 90-degree angles, opposite sides are equal. And a lot of these answer choices are talking about diagonals. So I'm also going to draw in the diagonals because there are probably going to be some things about diagonals I want to look at. All right, so are the diagonals congruent? Yes. So we're looking for the one that's not a property. So yes. So A is not right. Do the diagonals cut the angles in half? Do they bisect the angles? If I look at this angle, this 90, those two angles are not equal. I'll do one in red. That green angle is not equal to that red angle. It is not being cut in half. This is false. Oh, I missed. Let's just check the other ones to be sure. The diagonals bisect each other. Are the diagonals being cut in half? Well, this diagonal is cut in half. Those two pieces are equal. And this diagonal is cut in half. Those two pieces are equal. So that's true. And our opposite sides equal. Yeah, opposite sides are equal in a rectangle. So drawing that picture and going through each option, easiest way to get it right. So both of these answers would be. All right, so now this is our skill drill for the day. I'm going to scroll down so you can see it. Just a few quick questions. Again, pause the video, try these questions, and then I'll show you the answers. All right, so if we want to do the notation is just how to write something. So for a translation, we do T like 3, 4, right 3, up 4. So dilation of a third, it's capital D, 1/3. What shape has congruent diagonals? Well, we just talked about it up there. It is a rectangle or a square. Those would have congruent diagonals. A parallelogram, since it's slanted, this diagonal is longer than this one, so parallelograms don't work. All right, now looking at number 3. For number 3, we want to dilate this line by a scale factor of 4. Well, first of all, this line is not in y equals mx plus b. I got to divide both sides by 2 first. So negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2x, plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. And if I'm going to dilate by 4, when I dilate a line, I just move it up or down, either closer or further away from the origin, so the lines are parallel. The slope doesn't change, just the y-intercept changes. So I'm just going to multiply the y-intercept by 4. Y equals negative 2x plus 12. That would be dilated by 4. All right, and what is the slope of a line perpendicular to 3y minus 2x equals 90? Again, got to solve this and get it y equals mx plus b. Y equals 2x. I added 2x to both sides. Divide by 3. So 2 over 3x. 90 divided by 3 is 30. And I want the perpendicular slope. Well, here's my slope. So perpendicular, opposite, reciprocal. I change the sign and I flip the fraction. So that is the perpendicular slope. And then unit 7 was all about similar triangles. And that's what we're going to review today. So to prove triangles are similar, you can either show the angles are the same, angle, angle, or you could show 3, 4, 5, and this would be 6, 8, 10. I should have done that the other way around, so the bigger one was actually 3, 4, 5, and then, but whatever. So if the sides are proportional, that means the triangles are similar. And then you could have a combination where I could have proportional sides and one angle in between them that's congruent, and that's side angle side similarity. So just some stuff from a review from unit 7. All right, let's go to the next page. So a really common problem in unit 7 is similar triangles with shadows. So the first step is always to draw a really good picture. So a watchtower is 36 feet tall, okay, and casts a shadow of 64 feet. So shadows go on the ground. If the distance between a watchtower and a tree is 30 feet, okay, so the watchtower and the tree, they're 30 feet apart. Determine the height of the tree to the nearest tenth of a foot. We always assume these shadows meet at the same point, and that would create two triangles that are similar in this picture, because there's two right triangles. One is the red one that's really big, 36 and 64. The second triangle is the tree here, this triangle. So we got the tree, and we got the shadow of the tree. So we don't know the height of the tree, so that's my x. But the shadow of the tree is not 30. That's how far the tree is from the watchtower. The shadow of the tree is on the ground here. So if from here to here is 64, and part of it is 30, we got to find the other part of that line. So 64 minus 30 equals 34. So that is how long the shadow of the tree is, 34. Because 34 plus 30 would equal the whole line of 64. So setting up your triangles is the most important part, drawing a good picture, and then separating the two triangles that are right triangles. Now we could just set up a proportion. So my heights match up, 36 over x equals, now I started with 36, the red triangle, so for the shadows I'm going to start with 64 divided by the shadow of the little triangle, which is 34. Now I just got to cross multiply. 64x equals 36 times 34. I'm going to use my calculator here. Don't know that one in my head. Now I got to solve for x. I'm going to divide both sides by 64. So divided by 64 is 19.125. They said to the nearest tenth. So that's 19 point, round to this place. I look 1 to the right. It's a 2, so I keep it as 0.1 feet. So that is the height of my tree. I don't want you to try that. You try at the bottom. Do that question, and then I'll check back and see if you got it correct. So hit play when you're done. All right, so again, we want to draw a really good picture. We got a lighthouse and a shadow. 24 feet is the shadow, and then we got a sailor, and he's 18 feet away from the lighthouse. So this is not the shadow of the sailor. That's how far away they are. Sailor is 5.5 feet high. Determine the height of the lighthouse. Again, we want to just separate these triangles. So the black one, the lighthouse is X and 24. The sailor triangle, the red one, is 5.5. And I need the bottom here. I don't have the bottom or the shadow of the sailor, but I know the whole line is 24 and part of it is 18. So if I do 24 minus 18, I get 6. And that's going to be the shadow of my sailor. Now I just have two similar triangles because these are both 90-degree angles, and this angle is the same in both triangles. So if two angles are the same, they're similar, I just got to set up a proportion. So heights on top of each other, x over 5.5, equals shadows on top of each other. I started with x, so I got to put the 24 on top of the 6. So I got 6x equals 24 times 5.5, 132, divided by 6. So the height of the lighthouse is 22 feet. And I didn't talk about this last time, but it's good to mentally check your work, right? So I had a sailor that was 5 feet tall, and his shadow was 6. So a lighthouse is obviously taller than a sailor, so it makes sense that it's 22. It's bigger. Also, 5.5 is pretty close to 6. 22 is pretty close to 24, so that's proportional. Last part of class today. On the next page, we're going to do one more type of problem. And again, we're going to talk about similar triangles, and we're going to specifically talk about angles this time. So I'm going to label the angles. BFD, 6x minus 8. B to F to D. So remember that middle letter is the vertex where the angle is, so F. So that's 6x minus 8. AFC, 4x plus 8. And the last angle they gave us, angle D, so that's just over here, is 8x minus 4. So we know these triangles are similar. What I know about similar triangles is the sides are proportional, but the angles are equal. The corresponding angles are equal, or the matching angles are equal. So I got to see which angles would be equal here. The easiest way to check, I think, is to look at the letters over here. So I see I have angle F here in triangle ACF. So what matches up with angle F? Oh, that's angle F in the other triangle, this one. So I could set 4x plus 8 equal to 6x minus 8. Now I just got to solve this equation. To move stuff across the equal sign, we're going to use those inverse operations. So we get 8 equals 2x minus 8. Add 8 to both sides. So 16 equals 2x. Divided by 2, x equals 8. So everyone always thinks, oh, there's 8. That's the answer. But they didn't ask for x. They said, what is the measure of angle C? There's nothing there for angle C. So let's go back to those letters that would help me out in the beginning. So I'm looking back over here at these letters. I'm erasing some stuff so you can see. So what letter matches up with C? That's the angle we want to find. Okay, it's the middle letter. That's D. So this angle would be equal to this one. So let's set So I just got to substitute in my x for 8x minus 4, because this angle D is equal to this angle C. So 8 times 8 minus 4. That's 64 minus 4. So angle C equals 60 degrees. So that would be my final answer. All right, I'm going to explain the homework or the classwork that's going to be graded today. So on page 4 and 5 in your packet is the homework / classwork. You have to do 3 out of 5 of the questions. You got to show work because I put the answers right here on your right so you could check your work. So make sure when you submit this on Google Classroom, you have work either drawn here or you could do it on a separate sheet of paper. There's 3 questions, or you have to do 3 out of the 5. So you could choose the 3. So here's 2 of them. And here are the other 3 questions. This is also on the Google Classroom in the student work packet. All right, submit this when you're done. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.